Alright guys, so not too long ago I gave you guys a recipe for some pull-apart dinner rolls that were absolutely amazing. And my husband, he had actually asked me if I could turn that into a pizza crust, as the cauliflower crust didn't work for him and he really liked the way those tasted. So I'm like, yeah, we can do that. That's not a problem. So I'm bringing you along tonight so we can do that. And I'm actually going to be making this in two different ways. Not too long ago, I found the coolest thing at Goodwill. This is a little, it's not a waffle maker. It's a pancake maker, but just like a waffle maker. So cool. It's got like little 4-inch circles in it. So I'm going to try this in two different ways. I'm going to try to make these up in the pancake maker, and then I'm also going to make them up in the oven more traditionally. If you can't find one of these, check your local Goodwills. You'll probably find one. Alright guys, so let's get started. Now, I'm doubling this recipe since I'm basically making it in two different ways. I'm just going to double it so I can do one each way. But the recipe I'm going to put down below is for a single batch, which will make probably 2 4 5-inch little pizza crusts. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so in here I've got 3 cups of shredded mozzarella, and I've got 4 ounces of cream cheese. And if you watched my other video with the pull-apart rolls, you'll know we're going to stick this in the microwave and be back in just a minute. Alright, and as I knew it would be, after a minute it is not completely melted down, so we're just going to stir it up and stick it back in for another 30 seconds. We'll keep going in 30-second increments until it's all melted together. Alright, so the extra 30 seconds did it. This is good and mixed together. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to add the almond flour. Now I've already sifted almond flour and baking soda together into this. I've got 2 2/3 cups of almond flour. And I've also got 2.5 teaspoons of baking powder sifted into this already. Just to save time, I went ahead and did that ahead. Make sure you always sift your powders and your flours so you don't want to bite in any chunks. Alright, and then here I got 4 eggs I've already beaten together. We're just going to mix this up till a dough forms. This does take a little bit of work and doesn't seem like it's going to mix together, but I promise eventually it does. If the dough starts to get really stiff on you and not mixing at all, the cheese just cooled off a bit too much, you can stick it back in the microwave for 15-20 seconds to soften it back up a little bit. Alright guys, we've got a good dough formed here. I'm just going to divide this in half for now, since I'm going to be using half in my pancake maker and half in the oven, so just gives me an idea of what I'm working with. Alright, here we go. And if you've ever made a chaffle, then you know how this works. I'm going to spray the griddle here with a little bit of, I got some avocado oil spray, and then put it on, let it cook. Usually it's like 3 or 4 minutes till the steam no longer comes out the sides of it. So I'm going to spray this. And I have made the mistake of not spraying it before. That was not pretty. Make sure you spray it. Alright, I hope you can see this a little bit better there. Oh, that's hot. Alright, so we're just going to put this on, smooth it down, and close it up. A little easier said than done. It's sticky. Alright, I'm just going to close this up and let it cook. Alright, set timer for 4 minutes, and we actually had a little bit of dough left over, so I'm just going to add this to the mix for the other ones. Alright guys, it's been 4 minutes and these are done and ready to come out. They are beautiful, the perfect shape for little mini pizzas. So go ahead and just lift these up and set them over here to cool. Alright guys, so these are all done, so I'm just going to set them to the side for now, and we're going to make the other ones in the oven, so give me just a second. So my other dough, it has cooled off a good bit. It's a little hard to work with meanwhile, so I'm going to stick it back in the microwave, probably about 30 seconds, just to make it more pliable so I can work with it. Alright, that's much better. I can stir it up now. So in this, I'm going to add some seasonings, spice it up just a little bit. And so I got here a 1/2 teaspoon of oregano, a 1/2 teaspoon of basil, and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, and probably about a 1/2 teaspoon or so of salt. I just kind of sprinkled some in. So I'm going to mix half of this into the dough. Alright, I'm going to get this all incorporated in. All right, now that that is mixed in there really good, I'm going to divide this out into, maybe I can get 4 out of this. I'm gonna get 3 or 4 out of it. So let's see what I can do. Oh, almost forgot. I got oil here for my hands because this dough will stick to your hands like it was nobody's business. So make sure you grease up your hands a little bit. Doesn't matter what kind of oil. I think this is avocado oil. All right, let's see if I can get 4 out of this. I'll roll it to a ball and shape it out. It's up to you. If you like thinner crust pizza, do it then. If you like thicker crust pizza, hello. Whatever you like. This is a really easygoing recipe here. All right, I always like to lift the edges up just a little bit with my fingers when I'm shaping pizza dough. It just helps to catch the sauce and the toppings to keep them from all dripping off. Oh, nice little lip. All right, I think I'll be able to get 4 out of this, no problem. All right, guys, so I got these all shaped up, and as I went, somehow they just kept getting bigger and bigger. I guess I didn't divide the dough up as evenly as I thought I did. All right, let me wash my hands because they're all oily, and I'll be back. All right, so I'm going to take the little bit of the avocado oil that's left in here. I'm going to actually just brush it on top of this, see if I can get a nice good crust on it. All right, so the last step that we gotta do here is the remaining seasonings. I'm just gonna sprinkle it on the top of this, just very lightly. All right, guys, these are all ready to go into the oven. I got the oven preheated already at 425. Now, how we're gonna cook these is we're gonna bake them for 8 to 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes, and then we're gonna broil them for 2 to get them nice and golden brown on top. So I'll see you guys back in about 12 minutes or so. Alrighty, so these have all come out of the oven and those baked up absolutely beautifully. You can see that, they're gorgeous. There we go. So now comes the fun part. We get to add our toppings to this. And these are so versatile. I mean, pizza is really what you make it and what you like on it. And this would probably be something really fun to do if you have kids. Get the whole family in on it. But first off, we're going to start with the marinara sauce. And this is one that I made up. I personally just don't trust, you know, the jarred and canned versions. You know, I don't know what's in them, and I prefer to make my own. And this is a really super quick and easy recipe. I did a video on it not too long ago. I'll link that up here for you guys to check it out. So basically all we're going to do is start the fun part, start topping them. Now, one thing I did forget to mention, before you put these in the oven to bake them, it's really helpful if you poke some holes in it with a fork. That'll keep the dough from bubbling up in the middle like 1 or 2 of these did. Now, from doing this, I can tell you that as fun and convenient as it was to make these in the pancake maker, these would probably be better suited to maybe making sandwich breads out of, or some sort of, you know, an open-faced sandwich, something like that. Because it doesn't have that little lip, that little crust I was able to put on these to kind of keep the sauce from sliding around. So I have to be real careful for it not to fall over. Now we just get to put whatever we want on. I got some turkey pepperoni here. Put these on a couple. This would be fun to, like I said, to do with kids. Love to design their own, make faces and stuff like that. And also, I found these today when I was at the grocery store. And these are so cute. They're little mini pepperonis. They're adorable. Alright, we got some mushrooms sliced up here. Just have fun with it. Any vegetable you want to put on here, really. But bacon would be really good on here. I didn't think to cook up some bacon to put on top. And I chopped up some onion. Alright, now for the best part, it's the cheese. Now, putting the cheese on pizzas has been a slight point of contention in my house because I believe that cheese goes on last when you make a pizza. But my darling husband, he believes that you put cheese on first before the toppings and again after you put all the toppings. 6 one way, half a dozen the other, however you like your pizza here. What you could probably also do right now before you put these back in the oven to cook them last time to melt everything together is I bet you can make some garlic butter and spread some garlic butter on the crust. Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? I should have thought of that sooner. Now this is a bit much just for the 3 of us here. I'm betting I can put these in the fridge and heat them back up for lunch tomorrow in the toaster oven. Yeah, I bet they'd be good then too. Alright, so these are all ready to go back in the oven. Since these have been sitting out a little bit longer and they've cooled off a little bit, I'll probably cook these for slightly longer than these just to get them warm through. These only need like 2 to 5 minutes. Once you get the toppings on, just to melt the toppings down together, I'll probably give these just a few extra minutes. Alright guys, I'll see you back in a bit and show you how they are. Alright guys, these just came out of the oven and they both look quite amazing. So the ones that came out of the pancake maker that had cooled off a little bit, I actually cooked them for 5 minutes in the oven, and after 2 minutes I stuck the other ones in for just 3 minutes, just enough to get the toppings melted, the cheese melted down, and just started to brown the cheese. So it's perfect at that, right? So it seems like I made a double batch and I got 8 little mini pizzas. No matter which way I went with it, I got 8 mini pizzas out of it. And so since I doubled the recipe I'll be putting down in the comments is for 1 batch of dough. You should be able to get 4 mini pizzas out of it. Although I doubled it, I'm not going to give you the doubling. You can do that math really easy on your own. And at the very end of the video will be the nutritional information. And that'll be for 1 batch of the dough, assuming you get 4 pizza crusts out of it. So I figured that'd be pretty easy math for everyone all around. I'm about to serve these to the family for dinner. I'll be back in a few, let you know what they think. Alright guys, so dinner's over and the verdict is in. The family absolutely loved these. The criticisms they gave me was that they wish I had made thinner crust pizzas because my husband's a thin crust fan. And he also didn't like the little mini pepperonis, as cute as they were. He said they didn't have enough bang for the buck. That being said, make it to your family's liking. Guys, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you know where to find me down below, okay? I'll see y'all next time. Bye, guys.